Great. So finding that comfortable seated position, and just bring your hands either into an open mudra with your thumb and your first finger touching, or maybe you want to feel a bit more grounded, a bit more centered, and you might want to turn your palms down just to feel a connection with earth. You know, perhaps if you have been very busy before you've come here, perhaps that's the mudra for you. If you feel like you need to receive more insight today, then your palms can face up. And you draw your shoulders back and allow that heart to open just slightly as your tailbone tucks under and your core engages just a little bit and your brow becomes soft. And your gaze is inwards and upwards to your third eye. And as you inhale, you just watch the breath. And as you exhale, you squeeze a little more air out and you lengthen the breath. So in this autumnal phase, we want to let go before we start bringing in the new, back in spring. So make that exhale a little longer, maybe one count longer. And as you inhale, you feel the need to draw in more breath after. And how good that air feels coming back in once you've let go of what you don't need. For some of you, like Ujjayi, that's fine. Others of you, just watch the breath. There's no need. If you find Ujjayi calms your mind, then of course use it. But otherwise, just allow yourself to watch your breath. And as you exhale, root down to the bottom of your cross, through the roots of your sits bones, and see if you can find in your mind the center of the earth. Inhaling, you're drawing that breath up through the spine, through the crown of the head, and reaching to the top of the cross, the infinite spirit that inspires you. Exhale, down, deep down into the center of the earth. Up, up, up into the infinite as you look up beyond the crown of your head. Really important to root yourself. If you're a person who gets really ungrounded quite easily, really make sure to visualize the roots really spreading out. And maybe don't try and reach too high in your imagination up to the infinite. Maybe just focus on the rooting down. As we explore the first polarity of our existence, this polarity between the masculine and the feminine, the spirit and all that is matter, Purusha and Prakriti. So we need to have this physical body. Our physical body is made of atoms from the earth. We nourish our physical body through breathing, through eating and drinking good water. It also represents our relationship with our own mother and with the earth. Now on the inhale, once you feel that connection down into the ground, see if you can reach up and make your cross touch the sky. In Christianity, referred to as the Heavenly Father, that which inspires us, which is so infinite we can't possibly conceive. And exhale back down into the earth. Now the spirit permeates all that is life, all that is matter, to create consciousness. Now consciousness is like the Son of God. Consciousness is to do with our soul. To have consciousness is to have soul. Seeing in that polarity between the masculine and the feminine, seeing where we may be blocked. Maybe we find it easy to reach up, but we find it hard to root down. Maybe we find it easy to relate to the father aspect, or indeed our own father, than we do to our mother and the mother aspect, the matter. Now, the point of this meditation is not to get into the psychology, but just to observe simply where we struggle, whether we find that bridge between the spirit and the earth, whether we find that an easy one to create. And then we settle our gaze into the center, into the seat of our soul, which is our heart. And as you gaze into your heart, see if you can connect, see if you can find a point of focus. See if you can find that midpoint, not rejecting the feminine, not rejecting the masculine, not being too busy and not being too passive. A point where we're intuitively feeling and seeing. And in that heart center, see if you can imagine a golden bud, a bud of a lotus flower. And paint it in your mind's eye, paint it gold. Deep in your heart. And as you breathe into that bud of a lotus flower, see if you can allow the lotus to open. And as the lotus flower opens, see if you can feel blue electric light emanating out of the lotus flower and filling your whole body with this electricity, this blue electric light. And as you breathe, fill your whole body with that electricity. Feel what it is to be alive and in this body. And on the exhale, let go of the thoughts which distract you, the emotions which sway you, the physical discomfort or numbness that prevents you from really feeling and existing in this physical body. And ask that heart, that soul, that seat of the soul, where you can bring in more simplicity into your life so that you can find that balance. Maybe it's something you need to do, but equally maybe it's something you don't need to do. Notice as you focus in your heart whether you keep getting distracted, whether it's your thoughts that keep distracting you, whether it's actually your mind that needs training, whether it's meditation that needs to help bring about that center, bring you towards the center of the cross. Are you here right now? Are you in this moment, breathing in this room, experiencing what it is to be a bridge between the heaven and earth? Or are you somewhere else? Are you regretting the past, worried about the future? Can you just be here in this moment and let everything else fall away? Just making a quick body scan. Seeing how our feet feel. Breathing into our feet. Stable. Stability. Nourishment. Support. And our knees, how do our knees feel? Maybe we need to change our position. Maybe we're resisting change. our whole legs, breathing in and out of our whole legs, allowing ourselves to stand tall. And into our pelvis, into our hips. Maybe we have a lot of residual emotions, maybe we feel discomfort. Maybe something flares when we bring our awareness there, or maybe it doesn't. And into our core, our center of individualization, who I am as a person, expressing my spiritual destiny through this physical body. And it links us to the mind. We express our individuality through using our mind. And if our mind is trained and we can receive the impulses of the soul, then we can act accordingly. We can exert our personal power in line with our soul and our actual divine purpose here on earth, as opposed to the whole attached story that we get distracted by. And then into the heart, do we find that we're drawing the shoulders overly back, or maybe we're rounding them in, maybe we're trying to protect our heart? Maybe we feel grief, maybe we feel joy, maybe we're happy we're breathing, and maybe we don't. And then into our throat. Are we able to breathe smoothly? Are we able to communicate our truth? Or are we just nervously talking to protect ourselves from the fact that we feel vulnerable? That we think people expect us to say something intelligent or funny, when actually maybe in this moment I have nothing. And then into your third eye, your face. Are you clenching? Are you tensing? Are you able to see as your gaze turns inwards and upwards? And you ask that question through the center of intuition. Where do I need more balance? How can I bring more simplicity into my life? To walk that middle path. And then up through the crown. Can I simply be here right now, or do I have to be somewhere else? And then draw everything back down through that vertical line of the cross, back down through the spine of your body, deep, 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 deep down into the earth. And bring your palms together at your heart center as we sound Om 3 times, feeling the sound of Om in our head center, our heart center, and our core center. Taking an inhale and exhale. Inhaling for 3 Oms. Just feeling what you feel, knowing what you know. And then anything that you feel you want to make note of on your piece of paper, on that cross, whether you need to make a mark at to do with the thoughts or the emotions, or maybe something in the physical body that arose for you that you feel like you realised. Equally, if you just want to just sit with whatever it came up for you, then please do. We just have a couple of minutes just to